It might have been obvious that Nick Lachey was nearing the end of his run on Dancing with the Stars, but that doesn't mean his departure tonight is any less disappointing. The singer-slash-host was one of the rare former boy banders not to have been born with lightning-fast moves, but that didn't stop him from trying his hardest every week, and usually delivering. Don't worry, Drew Lachey, you won't have to share that mirror ball champion title. Following his elimination, Nick praised his partner, Peta Murgatroyd. "I can't say enough wonderful things about this woman," and said the ballroom hasn't seen the last of him, or his biceps. "I'm most proud of the fact that we laid it all out there every week. I'm proud of the effort we gave. It was a blast, and I'll be here to support my wife." Speaking of Mrs. Lachey, Vanessa had one of her best dances yet, which should keep her in the competition at least for the near future. Mark Ballas and Lindsey Stirling got their first perfect score this season, while Jordan Fisher continued to slay every move that Lindsay Arnold taught him. What else happened? Read on for the recap. Nikki Bella and Artem Shivintsev. Nikki said she's not used to being vulnerable, but she has to start letting her guard down if she's going to go far in the second half of the competition. So far, she's off to a good start with a strong Argentine Tango, minus a wobble during the routine. Len loved it. Guest judge Shania Twain said it was romantic, and Bruno said Nikki presented a different side of herself. In other words, she nailed the vulnerable part. Score, 36/40. Drew. Scott and Emma Slater. Drew adorably thinks he's got a good chance to win the mirror ball because he's putting in nearly double the hours of rehearsal time compared to other couples. Emma, meanwhile, thought that because Drew and guest judge Shania Twain are Canadian that would help their scores. And I think both of them need to stop drinking whatever nonsense they're being fed. But hey, whatever works. Len called their Paso Doble an awkward-looking routine lacking in finesse. Keep putting in those rehearsal hours, Drew. And hoping for Canadian guest judges, a 9 Shania? Really? Score, 30/40. Nick Lachey and Peta Murgatroyd. Nick said he felt like a buffoon, which made me sad because he's my favorite dancer to watch this season. Sure, he won't win the mirror ball, but does anyone really remember who takes home that shiny trophy each season anyway? As for their samba, Nick seems stiff with Peta, especially compared to the last few weeks. Still, he was out there giving it his all, and really, that's all that matters. Score, 26/40. Victoria, Arlen and Val Chmerkovskiy. Dean Viva danced the Paso Doble to the Mighty Ducks, but if DWTS is going to create an ice rink on the stage, I'd much prefer a routine to the Cutting Edge. I'm not getting that, but at least Victoria and Val didn't disappoint. Carrie Ann loved it, and Len liked the concept. Score 1 for the home team. Score, 31/40. Terrell. Owens and Cheryl Burke. Terrell called himself the Black James Bond. Actually, he should add Dancing James Bond to his new persona, because he rocked the hell out of his jive tonight. For whatever reason though, Len wasn't feeling it. Still, he said it was Terrell's best dance of the season. Meanwhile, Shania said the attention to detail was so gorgeous she forgot where she was during the dance. You don't know what that means, but I like it better than Len's critique. Score, 37/40. Frankie, Muniz and Witney Carson. Candyland come to life. Frankie and Witney put on a kaleidoscope of colors performance that looks like the Trolls and The Flintstones collided, and it was pure magic. Unfortunately, the judges were watching through colorless lenses, because they point out plenty of missteps that resulted in Frankie's lowest score in weeks. Score, 31/40 Vanessa Lachey and Maksim Chmerkovskiy. Vanessa said this week has been the most work they've done, but it was also the most fun. The verdict? It showed. Bruno thought they killed their quick step, and Carrie Ann called it Vanessa's best performance. Len commented on Vanessa's not quite so perfect posture, but Shania loved the dance. Score, 36/40 Jordan Fisher and Lindsay Arnold. A rumba has never looked so good, and Carrie Ann couldn't stop raving about the wave of gorgeousness she just witnessed. Len liked all that stuff that Carrie Ann mentioned, but he didn't understand why Jordan did this one move with his hands, which I'm not talented enough to describe in writing. Shania said it didn't distract her. If anything, it felt like Jordan had Lindsay with him, even when there was distance. Either way, it was beautiful. Score, 39/40 Lindsey Stirling and Mark Ballas, leave it to Mark to come up with the most innovative Argentine tango this show has ever seen. It was a stunning sci-fi interpretation that drew a standing ovation from the audience and accolades from Len. The choreography was phenomenal and the dancing was brilliant. Bruno called it the best dance of the season, and Carrie Ann said it's a side of Mark she's never seen before. Is the show now a three-way race between Stirling, Fisher, and Muniz? Score, 40/40.